Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle.
Hello.
This is VP Wright. I'm so excited to be here with you just because you're the most wonderful human. I'm always happy to just like be in a room with you, even if it's just virtual. But V is my other half, better half of the coaching duo from Hello Business. So if you come to Hello Business and you want one-on-one sessions, you could choose to work with me or work with V, which I think is really freaking cool. So if it's something that you are considering, if you're a creative person, you need business coaching in any way, we are here for you. And what I wanted to make sure that we did today was just give you a bit more background as to who we are and how we got here and what we work with our clients on, what might be right for you. And then I was like, and we'll answer your questions because we thought we could do this on YouTube Live. Joke's on us. We're figuring it out. I always tell my clients, like, I've been in business for 15 years. Everything is still an experiment. And things like this always just prove it. Still, YouTube Live together was going to be an experiment, and that experiment failed. So we do Plan B. Totally easy. So V, can you tell whoever's out there just about your coaching background? How did you decide to be a coach? And I know you have all these credentials and experience, so just splat at us.
Yeah. What's so funny? I typically start my coaching journey conversation, or when people ask me, I always will go back to like the story when I got certified. But when I actually think about it, I have been building like technically coaching programs since I was in college. I got my degree in comparative studies with a minor in pop culture, women's studies, and a certification in global leadership. And through that certification in global leadership, when I got it, I was required to build programs through the school I was going through and facilitate and coach through the leadership position I held on campus. So I have been quite literally doing, I've been doing program development since 2014. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so after I graduated from college, I ended up studying my business in August 2019. And that story in itself is hilarious because I had gotten baptized, was looking out for like a spiritual like advisor, ended up coming across a manifestation coach. She also did business coaching. She was telling me, she was like, yes, you'd be really good because of your background. And so she was the one that encouraged me. Yeah, she was the one that encouraged me to think about starting a coaching business. And then after she did that, a week later, my boss, who's also my daughter's, my boss at the time, who's also now my daughter's godfather, I was running a music venue here in Houston. And he was like, you should really think about going into like helping creatives, help with their marketing. And so I'm getting two confirmations from two very different realms. Yeah.
Yes. The
very
universe
different realms.
Is yelling at you like, look here.
Yep. The universe was screaming. So the business coach I ended up hiring, she and I built out the business plan, built out the website, built out my program, launched my first book, launched my podcast.
Yeah.
And within 3 months, I had 7 clients and I went part-time at my job. Yeah, it was wild. So
wow.
It was during that time I decided to get certified as a certified life coach as well. So I enrolled in the ITC coaching school and got a scholarship to also go through that as well, which was great. So it helped
a more universe supporting you, just like, oh, here it is.
Literally. Yeah. And I haven't looked back since. Like my business grew to 6 figures in that first year. And then we met because within that first year, I started my program, The Inclusive Entrepreneur. And that's when me and Michelle crossed paths.
We connected, and then I never let you go.
And she never left me out.
I never let you go. Said in a non-stalky, creepy way, I hope you feel like. But yeah, it was such an incredible program. You were such an incredible coach. And I knew I needed you more personally for me, but like for my programs too. And so oh my gosh, I should have looked up, like, I feel like I've lost track as to how long we've been working together because I brought
4 years. It's 2024, babe. It's been 4 years.
I know.
The program started next month, 4 years ago. Isn't that
And
crazy?
then I brought you in to work with my clients as our private BIPOC coach, like right after that. Was I that
Yep.
smart? See, that's how smart your program made me, because I never would have. I thought I like let
It
it
was
sit.
wild because TIE ended that October.
Yeah.
You started applying everything and then launched 90-day business launch that spring. You brought me in to work with the private BIPOC group that spring.
Yeah.
And within that first 6 months, you had like doubled your enrollments of BIPOC clients.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
insane.
Yes. And I'm getting, I remember when I started working with you and looked at, okay, how many BIPOC clients have I worked with? Which like I never did before, because I was like, no. 'Cause I knew my multiracial child, like if they were old enough, scroll through my case studies and be like, well, why is there barely anyone here that, looks like me? Like I knew.
Mhm.
I think it was somewhere around maybe 10%. I feel like that's high. It might have been like 7%.
Mhm.
Um, now I think it's around 38 or 39%.
Jeez.
And it didn't take me too long to get there after working with you. So this leads me to also like your core strengths as a coach, and you have been a DEI educator. When I think of inclusive coaching, I think of you first.
Mm.
Um, but also like tell us what you really see as like your wheelhouse, or what like, oh, I love digging into these things, or like these are the things that most of my clients I work with on.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things, and I feel like it's so funny because with the clients who we work with, whenever they
Uh-huh.
come to me, it's typically for something around money mindset because I love
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with
We all
numbers.
need that money mindset piece.
Mm-hmm. It's either money mindset. We are looking at like program ideation as well.
Uh-huh.
And also a really big skill that I have is because I have ADHD. I'm really big on visualization.
Yeah.
Outside of like doing coaching and marketing work, I'm also a digital marketing manager. So like I am huge on graphic design. I'm huge on visualization. I'm huge on being able to map out like how do we go from point A to point B. And so for
Yes.
every single client that I've worked with within the Hello Business community, everyone has their own visualization board, and we quite literally go from like piece to piece and work through everything and map it out. And it's great because like that's exactly what I do it for
That's the
everyone.
result of a one-on-one session I have with me. This is so funny, and it's right here on my bulletin board. And
I've
this
been
was
doing this for
exactly
years. That was two
exactly what
years
it was.
ago.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
did that 2 years ago.
Yep. That's nuts. But yep, we were working through like DEI practices. What happens when something happens in my community spaces that needs attention, to put it
Mm-hmm.
mildly? And you're like, great, here's our mind map, here's our visualization. And
Yep.
I've heard from the Hello Business clients that have worked with you that like that's a really big piece that they have loved.
Yeah. Yeah. And even like we apply it to our notes too, because the thing that I've noticed is like for me, because I also have ADHD, if we don't work on the notes, the organization piece of it right then and there,
Yeah.
then we will both forget, right?
Right.
So I had to,
Totally.
yeah. I thought I've seen that. I was like, okay, cool. If they forget and I forget, they're both screwed. So let's just start
Yeah.
working on this right during the call. So now, like, we'll just pull up the document, we'll pull up the flow chart, we work on everything, make sure everything's there at the end of the call. We go through all the to-dos
Yep.
and tackle it.
Yep.
And then they're able to go in and actually look at it. And then if they need me, they can just shoot me an email. But it's been revolutionary when you lean into something that you would think is a weakness can actually be a strength if you know how to nurture it.
Okay, I'm laughing, V, at how in sync we are, because I was updating the one-on-one sales page, and like our columns, like I have a column of like Michelle's wheelhouse and these strengths and whatever. And mine was like a little longer than yours. I was like, I need one more for V. And I literally said like visualization of your thing, about because it could be a strength and not a weakness. Like
Yes.
literally what I wrote. Literally what I wrote.
Yep.
That's incredible and like so helpful and so important. And knowing too that all of my clients are multi-passionate. I feel like every creative person is a multi-passionate person. It's hard to find a creative person that's not multi-passionate, but so many of us are also neurodivergent.
Yep.
And it's such a struggle. And so many of the people I know who are being diagnosed as ADHD are like middle-aged women that were like in our 30s, in our 40s, and going, oh, okay, this has been the thing. So having that note-taking and, time management, project that kind of thing mapped out in a way that makes sense to them
Yeah.
is chef's kiss.
Yeah. And I think like the leaning piece on that too is just like when you're able to organize, we'll keep it to a coaching session. When you lead intersectionally and you look at, okay, how does everything connect? How do the dots connect? Because people, especially when you have ideas and you're multi-passionate, right? People will start putting their ideas into compartments when they don't need to be in a compartment. They need to just flow in a way that makes sense. So you can think about things more circularly when you're like, okay, cool, these two ideas actually work together. So where's the middle point that I have to get done to get from this point to the next, right? And so that's often the things that I'm coaching people through and asking like, how are you prioritizing this? What are the steps we have to take to get there? How can we work backwards? And will you build out plans and execute them from there? So it's a lot of fun. And the number one phrase I've heard the most is, I've never thought about executing this in this way before.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this. And this is why too, I feel like it made so much sense when I brought back the one-on-ones, which I have been kind of like hiding. I was like hiding them for a few years. I was doing them, but it wasn't ever like a launch or a public page on my website for years. It's just like people get referred. And then when I went, no, I want to offer one-on-one sessions, I went, but I want to bring V in because for the people, thankfully, the people who come to me and are in the Hello Business world are kind, good-hearted, smart, ethical, compassionate people who are in business because not only is it fulfilling for them, but this is how they want to be of service to others. This is how they want to put good stuff in the world. And so I went, when they want to work on inclusion in their business, when they want to work on the digital marketing piece, it's not me. I wish it was, but like knowing, you want to know more about and get coached on Instagram and increasing your follower numbers and doing YouTubes and the graphic design and the content creation and blah, 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 like coming to you. And the ideation pieces, I feel like we have overlap there. And that's just like, I feel like basic business coaching in a way of just, come to me for the marketing plan. Come to me for the like, okay, you have an idea for an offer. Let's figure out the details and structure. Getting your business off the ground obviously is where I have been in that space for so long, but it's like I wish that I would have had that option along the way to say like, oh, I know I want to work on systems for my business, and therefore, which I know is another strength of yours, and therefore I have my choice of who to go to for that. And then like, if I know I need to talk about, getting more followers on Instagram or better content creation, I'm going to go to V. It's just like chef's kiss to me and to us. Cause we have to figure out how to make this happen. And it's just been so beneficial. I feel like so beneficial.
I mean, like we're working with over 20 clients right now, which is
yes. Well, we said, and I wish, oh my gosh, I'm going to go back to our Instagram messages when that whole thing happened, and to just like, with your permission, I will probably wind up like posting them. I'm just like, you want to see what the hell happened the last time we opened up these books for the one-on-one? Because it was like, okay, 10 spots were gone before we even went public.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you think? 10 more? And you're like, sure. And then those spots went within like another day.
2 days. Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, 5 more. And I think we decided on 5 more hard
25.
stop,
Yeah.
and then 2 more snuck in because I couldn't shut it
Yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah.
So now we are saying 10 hard stop. Because that's just what is going to be sustainable for us. And
Only because we have all the 6-month books. This is,
yeah,
and for folks who are watching this, please, like, if you're like, oh, this is brilliant, I want y'all to know that like we're opening up 10 spots because we have folks who finish up their first half of the year. Like that is the only reason why we're able to open up spots.
Yes.
We would not be able to
no, yes, that's totally true. And that's why there's 10 with the hard stop, because when we opened the books up last January, we offered a 6-session package and a 12-session package. And so we still have 12-session packages of people who are working with us for the whole year. And I do suspect that when it comes time to open them again in January, we'll do the same thing. We'll have the same offers, but right now I just can't even handle like another round of 12-month people. He's like, no, I want in December to be clean, like everyone's done by like mid-December, and then we'll start fresh. But I think there's something just to really be said, and why I think the offer has been so popular, to know that you get a coaching team, you get a coaching duo. And you know, I was thinking about like how much collective experience do we have? And I think maybe it's like 24 years.
Yeah, 24 years.
That's something like that. I'm just like, you know, over 2 decades of collective experience. And you know, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, but I don't know who to work with and I don't know what to do, we'll help you, and you don't have to decide when you sign up. We're here to just, you know, guide you through it and meet you where you are and get you what you need. And so the sales page will go further into exactly what that looks like. But between the two of us, we got you. If you're a creative who needs business coaching, we got you. We're here.
Yeah.
We're your team.
And we're literally both here. And it's been I have noticed the folks who end up working with both of us.
Yeah.
Is it raining? Sorry.
Oh, you said that the storm was coming, but you were like, it's beautiful, like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay. We're good, but I hear water. That's why I'm like, what in the world?
Okay.
See, ADHD. But,
all good.
But I've noticed that the clients that we've worked with who've worked with both of us have said like that there is a huge benefit to be able to have more than one brain. And it's something I'm thinking about this now. All of the communities that I work with 3. I work with Hello Business. My friend Shannon Whaley does anti-hustle business school. And then IGC, the IGC coaching school. So like there's 3 different sectors of the internet that I'm in. But the cool thing is that all of the sectors come with a component, whether it's one-on-one coaching or a mastermind, which is what I do for Shannon, or a just membership, which is what I do for IGC. There's a component where you can work with multiple coaches and you get the value of working with multiple coaches. And I want y'all to know that is not a normal thing. It is not a normal thing to be able to purchase something where you get access to multiple people. To be able to, I had to seek those things out because I knew I wanted to collaborate with people who do community-based work. But I mean, that's where I've been the entire time, is working with community, which is why things like this happen. But it is not normal to do a one-on-one coaching package where you get 2 brains. That is not normal, and it's a beautiful thing.
And I'll add this too, because I know before we started recording, we were talking about the coaching industrial complex, and I often that I have to say out loud, this is not, there are times where you might sign up for one-on-one work with a certain coach, but you're actually getting like someone that and brand new coach, a coaching training, and you might get multiple people that way, and then like no one kind of knows your business, and it's like not experience, or you feel like, oh, I thought I signed up with this person, but meanwhile I'm getting this. That's not this either. You're getting 2 very experienced, high level masterful coaches, I will say, when you sign up for any one-on-one coaching package with Hello Business. So with that, I don't know how long we've been going, but we're definitely over time. You will see in the video here the link to check out the one-on-one details. And I will put your website so they can learn more about you. I'm going to put a link to my about page so they can learn more about me too. And just like come work with us. We are awesome and fun. And I know that my clients tell me all the time, my superpowers are optimism and enthusiasm and motivation. And my clients leave and they say to me like, oh, Michelle, I already completed my homework and we just finished our session 2 hours because I feel so good. What did they tell you, V? Like, what do you get feedback on in terms of like your superpowers?
Oh my gosh.
I know it's definitely hard to narrow it down, but
inspired, that's definitely one that I hear a lot. Like I said, that piece around like them seeing the dots differently than they've never seen before. I think this comes down to the visualization. So execution is often that. And then it's the same thing. It's like they'll come back to our calls and it's like, wow, I got through 30 of the task points. I even got oh my God, there was one client where we saved her, like we had a whole 90-day plan executed. She got a week shaved off in one of our calls, a whole week shaved off because she was able to tackle so many tasks. And this was someone who, like, because like there was a lot of like stagnation around ADHD, etc. Like, can I focus on this, etc. She left the call that we had so focused where she came back to our 2 weeks later and was like, I got all of these things done, and it knocked a whole week off of that 90-day plan.
Okay, so if you've watched this long, come check us out because we are here with the experience. We're here with the energy. We're here with the enthusiasm, the motivation. We're here to help you get that clarity, make the stuff happen in your business that has been holding you back. Come get unstuck with us. It's as simple as that. And we're going to have fun doing it. So thank you, V, for taking the time to record this with me.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.